Lesson 1, Chance of meeting a random person.
Hey Anna, did you see that article in the newspaper about the chances of meeting someone?
No, I haven't read that one. What did it say?
Apparently, the odds of ever meeting a random person are pretty slim.
Really? That's kind of surprising. I guess the world is bigger than it seems.
Exactly. The article said it's extremely unlikely we'll ever cross paths with the vast majority of people on the planet.
Wow, that's crazy to think about. I wonder how they calculated those odds.
They took into account factors like global population, life expectancy, and the average distance people travel.
I see. So the chances of me ever meeting, say, the president of Tuvalu are pretty much zero?
Yeah, probably. Unless you have some secret plan to visit every country in the world.
Haha, no secret plans like that. Just your average person trying to get by day to day.
Same here. I guess we can just be content knowing we're part of that vast, interconnected human family, even if we never actually meet most of them.
That's a nice way to think about it. We may not cross paths, but we're all in this together in a way.
Exactly. We're like ships passing in the night, but we're still sailing on the same vast ocean of humanity.
I love that analogy. Very poetic. Maybe we should write a song about it.
I'm more of a prose guy myself. But feel free to get your songwriter hat on.
Lesson 2, Scenic Road Trip.
Morning, Anna. Have you ever driven along the Pacific Coast Highway?
No, I haven't had the chance yet. Is it as beautiful as they say?
Absolutely. The views along that stretch of road are just incredible.
I've heard it's one of the most scenic drives in the world. What was your favorite part?
That's a tough question. I love the rugged cliffs that plunge down to the sparkling ocean.
Ooh, that sounds breathtaking. I bet it must feel like driving right along the edge of the world.
Exactly. And the twisting turns of the highway keep things really exciting too.
I can imagine. Did you stop at any of the little coastal towns along the way?
Yeah, I made a few stops. There's this adorable town called Cambria that I really enjoyed.
Ooh, tell me more. What did you do there?
Well, I stopped for a local seafood lunch with the most amazing view of the harbor.
Seafood with an ocean view? Sounds like my kind of place.
It was so peaceful and picturesque. I could have sat there all day, just watching the boats come and go.
That sounds like the perfect little seaside getaway. Now I'm really itching to plan a road trip up the coast.
You totally should. It's the kind of drive that just makes your soul feel refreshed.
Lesson 3, Anna needs a new dress.
Hey Anna, I heard you're looking for a new dress for a party. Want some help?
Oh, yes, that would be wonderful. I'm not really sure where to start.
No problem, I'm happy to lend a hand. What kind of style are you going for?
Well, I want something fun and a little fancy, but not too over the top, you know?
Got it. Maybe we could check out that new boutique downtown? They always have really unique dresses.
Ooh, yes, I've been wanting to check that place out. Shall we head over there today?
Absolutely. I'm free all afternoon, so we can take our time browsing.
Perfect, this is going to be so much fun. I'm already getting excited to find the perfect dress.
I'm sure we'll find something amazing. You've got great style, so I trust your judgment.
Ah, thanks, John. Okay, let's get going then. I'm ready for a shopping adventure.
Lead the way. I'm excited to see what kind of dress catches your eye.
Me too. I have a feeling this is going to be a really successful shopping trip.
I don't doubt it. With two of us working together, how can we go wrong?
Exactly. Alright, let's do this. Time to find my perfect party dress.
I'm right behind you. This is gonna be a blast, I just know it.
Lesson 4, The Battle at Dawn.
Morning, Anna, did you catch the news about the battle that happened at dawn today?
No, I haven't heard anything. What happened?
Apparently, there was intense rifle fire and the roar of cannon at dawn on the morning of the 6th.
Goodness, that sounds like it was quite a fierce battle. Do they know what it was about?
From what I gathered, it was between two rival armies trying to gain control of the region.
How dreadful. I hope there weren't too many casualties on either side.
Unfortunately, the reports say there were quite a few injured and even some lives lost.
That's so tragic. War is such a terrible thing. I can't imagine witnessing something like that.
Me neither. It must have been a terrifying and chaotic scene unfolding at dawn.
I'm glad I wasn't there. Just thinking about it gives me chills.
Same here. I'm curious to see how this all plays out in the coming days, though.
Yes, I imagine there will be a lot of fallout from this battle. I'll have to keep an eye on the news.
Definitely. This is certainly a developing story worth following closely.
Absolutely. Thanks for filling me in, John. I appreciate you keeping me informed.
Of course, happy to share the latest. Let me know if you hear anything else on your end.
Lesson 5, Nova Scotia.
Joanna, did you know Nova Scotia was founded way back in 1605?
No way, really? I had no idea it had such a long history. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. A French expedition under Pierre Duguay, Sieur de Mons, and Samuel de Champlain established the first permanent European settlement there.
Whoa, that's ancient history. I always thought Nova Scotia was a more recent Canadian province.
Right? Apparently, they set up an agricultural and fur trading outpost on the shores of the Annapolis Basin.
Interesting. I wonder how that initial settlement grew over the centuries to become the Nova Scotia we know today.
Well, it changed hands between the French and British a few times, but the French were the first to really establish a foothold there.
I bet that led to some pretty interesting cultural influences and dynamics over the years.
Exactly. Nova Scotia has a unique blend of French and British heritage that you can still see today.
That's so cool. I'd love to visit one day and explore the history and culture for myself.
You definitely should. The scenery is breathtaking too, with the rugged coastline and picturesque fishing villages.
Ugh, stop, you're making me want to book a trip right now. Maybe we can plan a little Nova Scotia adventure together.
I'm so down for that. We can hit up the historic sites, try some fresh seafood, and maybe even learn a bit of French.
Sounds perfect. This is getting me all excited just thinking about it. When can we go?
Well, let's start looking into it. I'll see if I can find us some good deals on flights and accommodations.
Lesson 6, Household Troubles.
Hey Anna, I've got a bit of a plumbing issue at home I was hoping you could help me with.
Oh? What's going on, John?
Well, there's a leaky faucet in the sink that just won't stop dripping.
Ugh, those can be so annoying. Have you tried tightening the fixture?
I've given it a few good turns, but no luck. I think I may need to replace the washers.
That could do the trick. Have you also checked the shower head? Mine was acting up the other day.
Actually, yes. The shower head isn't working properly either. The water pressure is really low.
Yep, sounds like you've got some plumbing gremlins in your home. Those can be a real headache.
Tell me about it. I'm not the handiest when it comes to this kind of thing.
No worries, I'm happy to walk you through some simple fixes. Plumbing isn't rocket science.
I appreciate that, Anna. I was dreading having to call in a professional.
Well, let's see if we can get those issues sorted out first, before you go that route.
Sounds good. Where should I start? With the faucet or the shower head?
I'd tackle the faucet first. That's usually the easier of the two to repair.
Okay, got it. I'll head to the hardware store and pick up some replacement washers.
Lesson 7, Progressive Policies.
Morning, Anna. I was reading about some interesting tax incentives the government is proposing.
Oh, really? What kind of incentives are they looking at?
Well, apparently there's a push for more progressive policies to encourage businesses to invest in clean energy.
That's great to hear. Anything that promotes sustainability and environmental protection is a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. And it's not just about renewable energy, they're also talking about expanding tax credits for companies that prioritize worker training and development.
Wow, that's awesome. Upskilling the workforce is so important, especially in fast-changing industries.
Definitely. And I heard they're even considering incentives for companies that improve their diversity and inclusion practices.
Nice, that could really move the needle on representation in the workplace. Every little bit helps.
Totally. The goal seems to be aligning corporate interests with the greater social good.
It's about time. We need more carrot and less stick when it comes to driving positive change.
Agreed. These kinds of thoughtful, holistic incentives could really spur a lot of progress.
I'm curious to see how the public responds. Some may see it as government overreach.
True, but I think most reasonable people will recognize the broader societal benefits.
Let's hope so. Small steps in the right direction are better than no steps at all.
Couldn't agree more. I'm cautiously optimistic about the potential impact of these policies.
Lesson 8: The Golden Age of Print.
Hey Anna, did you know the 1800s and early 1900s are considered the golden age of newspapers?
Really? I knew newspapers were big back then, but I didn't realize it was considered a true golden age.
Yeah, it was a time of incredible growth and innovation in the industry. Newspapers became more affordable and accessible.
That's fascinating. What were some of the key advancements that drove that expansion?
Well, improvements in printing technology allowed for faster, higher quality production. And distribution networks expanded rapidly.
Interesting. I imagine that made newspapers much more widely available, even in smaller towns and rural areas.
Exactly. And the rise of the penny press made them affordable for the working class.
Ah, I see, so it really democratized access to news and information.
Definitely. It was a true golden age of journalism, with investigative reporting and in-depth coverage.
That must have been an exciting time, with newspapers playing such a vital role in society.
Absolutely. It was a real renaissance for the written word and a crucial precursor to the modern media landscape.
I can see why historians view it so positively. Sounds like a fascinating era.
It really was. The passion and innovation of those early journalists is quite inspiring.
I bet. Makes me wonder what the next golden age of media might look like.
Good question. With the rise of digital and social media, who knows what the future holds?
Lesson 9, highlighting your value.
Morning, Anna. I wanted to chat with you about something important.
Oh? What's on your mind, John?
Well, I've got a job interview coming up, and I want to make sure I really highlight the value I can bring to the company.
That's a great goal. What kind of approach are you thinking of taking?
I want to focus on demonstrating my key strengths and how they align with the role's requirements.
Smart. It's all about showing the employer how you're the perfect fit.
Exactly. I've been thinking a lot about the specific ways I can contribute.
Like what? What are some of your top selling points?
Well, I have extensive experience in the industry, plus strong analytical and problem solving skills.
Those sound like really valuable assets. How else can you stand out?
I'm also a quick learner and a great communicator. I work well both independently and in teams.
Excellent. Highlighting your versatility and well-roundedness is key.
For sure. And I want to tie everything back to how it benefits the company.
Right, don't just list your skills, explain the value they offer the employer.
Definitely. I'll need to do some research to really understand their needs.
Lesson 10, remembering Helen Keller.
Say, Anna, did you know today is the anniversary of Helen Keller's birth?
Really? I didn't realize that. She was such an amazing and inspiring person.
Absolutely. Her story of overcoming incredible obstacles is truly remarkable.
Definitely. Her teacher, and Sullivan, was a true miracle worker.
That's right. Sullivan's dedication and patience in teaching Keller was astounding.
I can't even imagine how challenging it must have been, but she never gave up.
Exactly. She found creative ways to break through and connect with Keller.
It's so impressive that Keller went on to become a renowned author and activist.
Absolutely. Her achievements despite her disabilities are truly awe-inspiring.
For sure. She really proved that with determination, anything is possible.
Definitely. Her life story is a powerful testament to the human spirit.
I agree. It's important that we continue to honor and learn from Keller's legacy.
Definitely. Her resilience and perseverance are qualities we can all aspire to.
Absolutely. She's such an inspiring role model, especially for those facing challenges.
Agreed. Her story reminds us to never underestimate the strength of the human mind.
Lesson 11, exploring Japanese culture.
Hey Anna, I just got back from a trip to Japan. It was an amazing experience.
Wow, how exciting! What was the best part about your trip to Japan?
The culture there is just so rich and fascinating. I loved learning about their traditions.
I can imagine. Japan has such a unique and vibrant cultural heritage.
Definitely. The architecture, the food, the way of life, it was all so captivating.
I'd love to hear more. What aspects of the culture stood out to you the most?
The attention to detail and respect for tradition was really impressive to me.
That's so interesting. Can you give me an example of that you witnessed?
Well, the tea ceremony, for instance. The precision and mindfulness involved was amazing.
Ah, yes, the Japanese tea ceremony is such a beautiful, time-honored ritual.
Exactly. It made me slow down and really appreciate the beauty in the simple things.
I can see how that would be a profound experience. Japan seems to value that so much.
Definitely. The Japanese have such a deep appreciation for nature and craftsmanship.
That's wonderful. Was there anything else that really stood out during your trip?
The politeness and hospitality of the people there was truly remarkable.
Lesson 12, The Art of Grilling.
Hey Anna, did you know that a good pair of tongs is essential for grilling and flipping food?
Really? I didn't realize that. What makes tongs so important for grilling?
Well, using tongs instead of a fork helps you handle the food more delicately and avoid piercing it.
Ah, that makes sense. You don't want to lose all those delicious juices by poking holes in the meat.
Exactly. And tongs give you much better control when you're flipping burgers or searing steaks.
I can see how that would be helpful. What other grilling tools do you find essential?
Well, a good spatula is key for safely transferring food on and off the grill grates.
I'll have to add that to my grilling toolkit. What about a meat thermometer? Is that important?
Definitely. Using a thermometer takes the guesswork out of knowing when your food is perfectly cooked.
That's a great tip. I always struggle to tell if my steaks or burgers are done just by looking at them.
A thermometer ensures you get juicy, tender results every time. It's a game changer for grilling.
I can imagine. What temperature do you usually aim for when grilling different types of meat?
Well, for steak I like to shoot for 130 degrees Fahrenheit for medium rare. Chicken should hit 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, good to know. I'll have to remember those target temps next time I fire up the grill.
And don't forget to let the meat rest for 5 to 10 minutes before serving. That helps lock in the juices.
Lesson 13, Soaring over the Falls.
Morning Anna, did you know you can take a balloon ride over the falls from the American side?
Wow, really? I've never heard of that before. That sounds absolutely incredible.
It is. You can even ride in a special tethered balloon that hovers right above the falls.
That must be an unbelievable perspective to see the falls from up in the air like that.
Definitely. The views are simply breathtaking, with the rushing water cascading beneath you.
I can only imagine how peaceful and serene it must feel to float above the thundering falls.
It's unlike anything else. You get this amazing bird's eye view of the entire Niagara landscape.
I'm sold. How do you actually go about booking one of these hot air balloon rides?
There are a few different companies that offer the service, and they run the rides all throughout the day.
Good to know. Do you have to make reservations in advance or can you just show up?
I'd recommend booking ahead of time, especially during the busy summer months. The spots fill up quickly.
Okay, that makes sense. And how long do the balloon rides typically last?
Most are about 15 to 20 minutes long, which is the perfect amount of time to take it all in.
That's just the right duration. Enough to really soak up the incredible views.
Exactly. Any longer and it might start to feel a bit monotonous. This way, it's an exciting thrill.
Lesson 14, Budgeting for the balloon ride.
Say, Anna, have you looked into the cost of those hot air balloon rides over Niagara Falls?
No, I haven't actually. What kind of budget should we be thinking about for something like that?
Well, from what I've seen, the prices can range quite a bit depending on the company.
Okay, good to know. Can you give me a general idea of what we'd need to set aside?
Most of the tethered balloon rides seem to be in the $30 to $50 per person range.
That's not too bad at all. I was expecting it to be a lot more expensive than that.
Yeah, it's a pretty reasonable price considering the incredible experience you get.
For a 15 to 20-minute ride, that's a pretty great value in my opinion.
Absolutely. And some companies even offer discounts if you book in advance.
Nice, that could help us save a bit more. Do they have any other package deals?
Some will bundle the balloon ride with other Niagara Falls activities for a discounted rate.
Ooh, that could be really convenient. I'll have to look into any combo packages.
Yeah, it's worth exploring those options to get the most bang for your buck.
For sure. This is sounding more and more doable for our upcoming trip.
Definitely. As long as we plan ahead a bit, I think we can make the hot air balloon a reality.
Lesson 15, Achieving Career Goals.
Hey Anna, can I pick your brain about some career goals I've been thinking about?
Of course. I'd be happy to help. What kind of goals are you considering?
Well, I'm really interested in getting into the tech industry, but I'm not sure where to start.
Okay, that's a great goal. Do you have any specific roles or companies in mind?
Not yet, that's part of the challenge. I'm still trying to figure out the best path forward.
No problem. What are some of your key strengths and interests within the tech field?
I really enjoy problem solving and working with data. Coding also seems really fascinating to me.
That's a good starting point. Have you thought about looking into data analyst or software engineer roles?
Those both sound interesting, but I'm a little unsure about the required skills and experience.
That's understandable. The good news is there are lots of resources out there to help get you started.
Like what? I'm open to any suggestions you might have.
Well, you could look into online courses, coding boot camps, or even entry-level tech support jobs.
Ooh, those are great ideas. And those could help me build a strong foundation, right?
Exactly. It's all about taking that first step and then continuing to develop your skills.
That makes a lot of sense. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me about this.
Lesson 16, Refreshing Walks.
Hey Anna, I love going for walks when the weather is like this.
Me too. The fresh air and nice temperature are so refreshing.
Exactly. I find it really clears my mind and boosts my mood.
Agreed. It's a great way to get some exercise and enjoy nature.
Definitely. Do you have a favorite walking trail or park around here?
Yes, there's this lovely trail by the lake that I really enjoy.
Ooh, that sounds beautiful. I'll have to check that out sometime.
You should. The views of the water are so peaceful and calming.
I bet. Maybe we could go for a walk there together one day.
That would be great. It's always more fun with good company.
Absolutely. I'd love to get to know the area better with you.
Sounds like a plan then. Let me know when you're free to go.
Will do. This is making me want to go for a walk right now.
Haha, me too. The weather is just perfect for it.
Agreed. All right, I'm off to enjoy the great outdoors. Talk to you soon.
Lesson 17, Lighting Options.
Hey Anna, what are your thoughts on lighting options for a living room?
That's a great question. I think pendant lights or floor lamps can create such a cozy ambience.
Oh, I agree, those are both really nice choices. What kind of vibe are you going for?
Well, I'm trying to make the room feel more warm and inviting. Pendant lights might be the way to go.
Pendant lights would definitely add a nice touch of elegance. What style were you thinking of?
I'm leaning towards something more modern and minimalist. But I also love the look of industrial style pendants.
Interesting, those would both look great. What about the lighting output? Do you want something bright or more mood lighting?
That's a good point. I think I'd prefer something a bit more subtle and ambient to create a relaxing atmosphere.
Yeah, mood lighting is key for a cozy living room. A dimmer would be perfect for that.
Absolutely, a dimmer switch is a must-have. It allows you to adjust the lighting based on the occasion.
Definitely. And floor lamps could be a nice complementary source of light too.
Good call. Floor lamps can provide additional illumination without being too overpowering.
Exactly. Lots of great options to play around with and create the perfect lighting setup.
I'm excited to start shopping around and see what catches my eye. Lighting can really transform a space.
Definitely. Let me know if you need any other input as you're deciding. I'm happy to help.
Lesson 18, Hassle-Free Future Travels.
Phew, I'm glad that last trip went smoothly.
Me too, that's such a relief after all the travel hassles we've dealt with in the past.
Definitely, I hope our future travels are just as hassle free.
Same here. I'd love to be able to just relax and enjoy the journey next time.
Absolutely. No more stressing about lost luggage or flight delays, that's for sure.
Exactly. Maybe we should look into getting some travel insurance next time, just in case.
Good idea. That could give us some extra peace of mind.
Definitely. And maybe we'll get lucky and find some great flight deals too.
Ooh, yes, affordable flights would be the cherry on top of a stress free trip.
Definitely. I'll have to keep an eye out for any good airfare sales coming up.
Sounds good. And we should probably start planning our next adventure soon.
Definitely. I can't wait to start researching some new destination ideas.
Me neither, I'm already getting excited just thinking about it.
Same here. Wherever we end up, I just hope it's as smooth sailing as this last trip.
Fingers crossed. I have a good feeling about our future travels.
Lesson 19, Exploring Jupiter's Moons.
Whoa, did you see the latest news about Jupiter?
No, what's going on with the giant planet?
Apparently, it has a ton of moons, over 80 of them.
That's incredible. I had no idea Jupiter had so many natural satellites.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. And some of them are quite unique.
Oh, really? What makes them unique?
Well, one of Jupiter's moons, Europa, is thought to have a subsurface ocean.
Wow, an ocean under the surface of a moon? That's mind-blowing.
I know, right? Scientists are really curious to explore Europa more.
I bet they are. What about Jupiter's other moons? Any other standouts?
Definitely. There's Ganymede, which is the largest moon in our solar system.
The largest moon? Even bigger than Earth's moon? That's crazy.
Yep, it's absolutely gigantic. And then there's Io, which is the most volcanically active body in the solar system.
Volcanic activity on a moon? That's wild. Jupiter just keeps getting more and more fascinating.
Totally. And don't forget about the famous Great Red Spot on Jupiter itself.
Lesson 20, Handel's Messiah masterpiece.
Did you catch the news about Handel's famous oratorio, The Messiah?
No, I didn't. What's the latest on that classical music masterpiece?
Well, it's fascinating how Handel was able to revive his career with The Messiah.
Really? I didn't know he had struggled before that. What happened?
Apparently, Handel had fallen out of favor in London for a while. His finances were in trouble.
Oh no, that must have been a tough time for such a renowned composer.
Definitely. But then he composed The Messiah, and it was an absolute sensation.
The Messiah helped him regain his popularity and financial stability?
Exactly. The oratorio was a huge hit, and it re-established Handel's reputation.
That's amazing. The power of a single masterpiece to turn things around.
Absolutely. The Messiah is considered one of the greatest choral works ever written.
I can see why. The scale and grandeur of an oratorio like that must be breathtaking.
For sure. The sheer scope of the piece, with its iconic Hallelujah chorus, is just awe-inspiring.
I'd love to hear a live performance of the Messiah someday. It must be an incredible experience.
It really is. The energy and emotion of a full orchestra and choir performing it live is unmatched.
Lesson 21, Strategies for Success.
Hey Anna, have you been thinking about what strategies contribute to success?
That's a great question. There are so many different approaches that can lead to success.
Definitely. It's fascinating to explore the common threads among successful people and organizations.
Absolutely. I've been reading about different frameworks and models for achieving goals.
Oh, that's interesting. What are some of the key strategies you've come across?
Well, one that stands out is the importance of setting clear, measurable objectives.
Ah, yes, that makes a lot of sense. Having a defined target to work towards is crucial.
Exactly. And then breaking those big goals down into smaller, actionable steps.
Right, the incremental progress is what really drives momentum and results.
Definitely. Another strategy I've learned about is the power of continuous learning.
Ah, yes, staying curious and adaptable in the face of change is so vital.
Absolutely. The most successful people are always seeking to expand their knowledge and skills.
That's a great point. Complacency can be the enemy of growth and progress.
Definitely. And of course, effective time management and prioritization are key.
Absolutely. Figuring out how to maximize your productivity is essential.
Lesson 22: Choosing the right bicycle.
Morning, Anna. Have you been thinking about getting a new bike lately?
I have. I've been doing some research on the best bikes to suit my needs.
That's great. What kind of riding do you tend to do the most?
Well, I'm mostly looking for something good for commuting around the city.
Ah, I see. Comfort and efficiency would probably be the top priorities then.
Exactly. I want a bike that's lightweight and easy to maneuver in traffic.
Definitely. And does the terrain you'll be riding on factor into your decision?
Definitely. Since I'll be dealing with some hills, I'll need a bike with good gearing.
Good call. The right gear ratio can make a huge difference on inclines.
Absolutely. I've also been considering the tire width. Wider tires tend to be more comfortable.
That's a great point. The wider the tire, the more cushioning and stability you'll get.
Definitely. And of course, the overall frame size and geometry are so important.
Totally. You want a bike that fits your body proportions perfectly.